Good morning. Good morning and welcome to meditation at the Columbus Center for Spiritual Living. My name is Janelle and I'm grateful to be here with you this morning to take this time in meditation and community. From wherever you are to wherever I am, Spirit is all the way in between, filling those spaces, those places. As you and as I, breathing in and breathing out. Finding that special rhythm of your breathing that's just yours. Spirit is you. Special and perfect, whole and complete. I come to you from my farm and the birds are a bit muted this morning because of the heat. But what I notice as I'm walking is the breeze, the wind. And part of me wonders where that wind comes from. I do not know. But I don't need to know where it comes from. I need only to appreciate its cooling effect. I need only notice the feel of the wind on my skin, in my hair, on my face, and the comfort that it brings. I invite you this morning to sink even deeper into that space within, that still small voice. As we share this time together in meditation. This morning we speak of uncertainty and of freedom. Uncertainty and of freedom. Freedom, that God quality. Uncertainty, a quality of human. I do not know where the wind comes from, but there is a power and a presence that does know. There is a power and a presence that knows all those things. And I remember a story when I was small. I rode the bus to school. And as I rode the bus to school, I was a half-day kindergarten, so I rode to school with my older brothers, but I came home alone. And one day coming home, we had a different bus driver, and we took a different route. And all of my friends, one by one, were let off the bus. And I was the last one there. And I was afraid because we weren't going the right way. I was afraid because I was supposed to be let off before now. And in that little 5-year-old mind, I cried. And the driver said, "What's wrong?" And I said, "This is not right. I know how I'm supposed to get home, and this is the wrong way, and all those other people shouldn't be off yet. Now I'll never get home." And the driver said, "It's all right. You don't know, but I am your neighbor. I live at the farm next to you. I live right by you, and you are last because I am taking you home on my way home. And it's going to be okay." And I remember that feeling of being uncertain, of thinking that I knew, and I don't need to know. I needed only to trust. I got home and I met a new neighbor. I think of that when I consider uncertainty, and I ask myself, no, you don't know. You don't know where the wind comes from. You don't know all the ways home. But there is a power and a presence that does, and it is driving the bus, and it will get you there safely. Trust that spirit. So I ask you to call to mind anything in your life right now that you are uncertain about. And I invite you to place it in the hands of spirit. It is not yours to know. You don't need to know. What you need to know is that you are a child of spirit. And spirit is the very fabric of this world, of your experience. There's no need to fear that which you are. There is no need to fear that which you are. As we move into the silence, I invite you to imagine what the full creative power of the universe must be to have created every unique thing on our planet. Every bird, every rock, every raindrop, every star, every idea since the Big Bang and before. Imagine spirit, the full creative power of the universe. Incomprehensible, infinite, omniscient, omnipresent, omnipotent. And now imagine that power coursing through every cell of your body. Spirit coursing through every cell of your body, flowing out of you in every moment, creating the world, creating the experience, everything that unfolds around you, creating the life that you wish, creating perfection. You don't have to know how. Trust that which you are. Spirit itself lives as you. Creating the world and the experiences that unfold around you in every moment. Allow. uncertainty and freedom. I may not always know the way, I may not always see the way, but what I do know is that there is a power and there is a presence that does know, and that power and presence guides me, is me. That is the ultimate freedom, that capital F freedom of spirit. Spirit knows, and that same power flows through me and flows out of me and out of you in every moment, creating the life that I wish. I invite you now to center yourself again on your breathing. Bring your attention again to the inhale and to the exhale. Recognize your physical body again and the physical space that is around you. And I thank you for joining me this morning in meditation. Namaste.
Good morning and welcome to Columbus Center for Spiritual Living. My name is Kristen Wilcock and I am a licensed religious science practitioner. And it is my pleasure to give you the announcements today. Everyone is invited to the Zoom room for Sunday celebration, and our services are being live streamed to our YouTube channel at Columbus CSL. Please feel free to share our service from our YouTube channel to your own Facebook page. For everyone on Zoom with us today, please feel free to turn on your videos so that we can see each other, and please keep yourself muted. Thank you. Our next Open Hearts Open Mic event on Friday, July 9th has been canceled. We incorrectly had it listed in the CCSL Weekly Word e-newsletter this week. The Open Hearts Open Mic event is going on summer hiatus. If you might be interested in volunteering to organize future Open Hearts Open Mic events in the fall, please reach out to Robin. The Core Council extends an invitation to members who would like to join a Core Council meeting. Please feel welcome to attend. Just reach out to one of the Core Council members for the link. Do you have a suggestion? Email it to ccslsuggestionbox@gmail.com. If you would like prayer after service or any time throughout the week, you can find our prayer practitioners on our website, columbuscsl.org, or you can submit a prayer request on our Facebook page. That is the news for today. Please enjoy our opening song, Love is My Religion by Jamie Lula.
I wish you peace. I wish you joy. I wish you love, 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 love. I wish you faith in yourself to reveal all that you've come here to be. Love is my choice. Love is my decision. Love is my voice. Love is my religion. Love is my religion. I wish you strength. I wish you courage. Wish you love, 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 love. I wish you purpose to create all your dreams and co-conspire with the light of your life. Love is my choice. Love is my decision. Love is my voice. Love is my religion. Love is my religion. Your answers to eternity are always deep inside you. That freedom of expression is yours to choose right now. Love is my choice, my religion. Love is my decision. Love is my voice. If you know the words. Love is my religion. Oh,
Good morning and welcome. My name is Reverend Amy Papadoupolo, and it is my honor to be here with you this morning. I tell you, I never get tired of that song from Jamie Lula. Love is my religion. It's just so uplifting. Well, welcome this morning if you're joining us this morning, or welcome if you're watching our broadcast later on today, or even throughout the week. We're glad you're here. We're glad you're with us this morning or watching later on. We at Columbus Center for Spiritual Living, we are an inclusive organization that honors, respects, and celebrates everyone exactly how they are, because you are a unique divine expression of God, and we treasure and honor and celebrate that. Thank you for joining us this morning on Zoom. Thank you for joining us on our YouTube channel, Columbus CSL. If you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, please do so now, and remember to give it a thumbs up and to ring the bell. So as many of you might know, we are in the process of calling in our next senior minister. And in order to bring that perfect fit to our community, we are the ones that are embodying the consciousness of that next senior minister. And I'll talk a little bit more about that in my talk this morning. So we're going to change things up kind of going forward. A small group of us created a sacred covenant, and it's a prayer. And what we're going to do is every Sunday morning, we're going to read this covenant together, because it really helps us set that consciousness in our own minds that will attract that next senior minister. So if you're on any other committees here at Columbus Center for Spiritual Living, we are going to read this covenant every time we get together for any of our meetings, any of our activities, because the more we can embody the consciousness of this sacred covenant, that's what's going to pull in and attract our next senior minister. So as we read this together, I would ask for you to not just read the words, but really feel into that place. Allow yourself to become that which you are seeking. So please speak this prayer along with me. I know there is only one life, and that life is God's life, and that life is perfect, and that life is my life now. And knowing that I am one with this life that is God, I therefore know that I am one with all of its blessed expressions, which includes the presence of a new minister for my beloved spiritual community. Because I know that the highest purpose of my new senior minister is to express God, I therefore know that my new senior minister is a revelation of God as wholeness. I further know that my new senior minister is the fulfillment of that which has been promised by God. Human endeavor is to get back to such an inward wholeness that all sense of fear, doubt, and uncertainty vanishes. By Dr. Ernest Holmes. I stand in agreement with my beloved community. I see my new minister revealed before me as a wise and loving expression of the One. I now intend to experience my new minister in full cooperation and agreement with my community, knowing this truth about myself, for I am inspired to live as love in the expression of wholeness. As I now accept the highest expression of a new senior minister into my life, I know that they are revealed in a way that expresses God and serves the highest and greatest good for all who are touched by their presence. I am grateful. God is gracious. And so it is. Thank you for putting those slides up, Robin. So now, please read our mission statement along with me. We serve the transformation of individual lives through education, spiritual practice, and deep community using spirit and science of mind principles as our compass. Thank you, Robin. And I'd also like to thank practitioner Janelle Carroll for that beautiful meditation this morning. Thank you, Janelle. She is also holding High Watch so that we can go deeper into consciousness together as a whole, as a collective consciousness. Our opening song, again, was Love is My Religion by Jamie Lula. And now I'd like to reintroduce practitioner Kristen Wilcock.
Good morning. We will now begin the sacred part of our service. I would like to introduce our community member, Robin Brookhouse, who will be giving us the reading this morning. Robin?
Good morning. A reading from the 7 Spiritual Laws of Success by Deepak Chopra. To be grounded in this experience, you have to be grounded in the wisdom of uncertainty. In this uncertainty, you will find the freedom to create anything you want. Thank you.
Thank you, Robin. And now let's take a moment of silence together. One presence breathes life into all that is. It swirls in, around, and through all of creation. It is the source of all unity, love, beauty, peace, and joy. It is whole, timeless, changeless, and eternal. It is life itself. It is God, and God is good. I am one with this presence. God vibrates through me in every aspect of my being, expressing, loving, and creating through me. The good that is God is the good that I am. Beauty, peace, joy, wholeness, and love are the truth of my being. This is true for everyone, everywhere. We are all part of the oneness of God. It is our nature and our essence. It is simply the truth of who we are. I accept for each of us a deeper realization of our innate divinity, the spiritual truth of our being. Right where we are, just as we are, all things are possible. We are guided and inspired by something greater than we can understand, and yet deep within each one of us is the knowing of our connection with the One. I embrace a world in which each of us lives according to this knowledge, that our choices and activities are inspired by the awareness of who we are, of all that we are. I know that being grounded in this wisdom allows us the freedom to create anything we want. Gratitude fills me as I embody this truth. I slow down and I take it in. I receive the gift of this wisdom with a very thankful heart. I release my word into the law with complete faith and acceptance, knowing that this truth is so, and so it is.
And so it is. Thank you, Kristen. So good morning. Our talk this morning is called The Soul's Call to Freedom. And I'd like to start with a quote from the great mystic philosopher, Lady Gaga. I am beautiful in my way, because God makes no mistakes. I'm on the right track, baby. I was born this way. I love that song. I was born this way. And I think that that phrase in her song just perfectly tees up what Centers for Spiritual Living are talking about this morning. So we have global themes. And if a center has decided to follow the global themes, you can go to any one of our services and you'll hear, like I said, if we choose, we don't have to choose these themes. Some do and some don't. But if a center is choosing to follow these themes, you can go to another center, you can watch another center, go to another center, and they will be talking about the same theme. And in June, we have been talking about that soul's call, the soul's call to freedom. And if you remember, I think it was back in March, we talked about visioning. We talked about visioning for what our soul's purpose is. And then in April or May, we talked about having that courage to step into that vision. So we captured Spirit's idea for ourselves. We have the courage to step into it. And now we're talking about the freedom to be exactly who we are. Exactly the way you were born. You were born a specific way because, like Lady Gaga told us, God makes no mistakes. And you know, Ernest Holmes said that same thing in our textbook. Ernest Holmes said, there are no mistakes. There will be no mistakes. There have been no mistakes. We are not a mistake. Exactly the way we are made, exactly who you are in this world is the perfect expression of your unique individuality of the one source of God. So our monthly context comes from Carl Jung. He said, those who look outside dream. Those who look inside awaken. And the soul's call is deeply intimate. It's challenging and it's exponentially powerful. And as we all step into and allow more of who we are to come out, to come up and to come out and to express, everyone on the planet benefits from it. Because when one of us awakens, it's that butterfly effect. When a butterfly flaps its wings over here, parts over here feel it. I can't remember exactly how that goes, but you know what I mean. It affects the global consciousness when one of us awakens. And I think about that term namaste. You know, that term namaste means I bow to you. And it also means, according to Google, because I Googled it, it means the divine is the same in you and in me. And I bow to the divine in you. I think of this idea of namaste, and we see it around. We see it on, you know, coffee cups, and you know, if you go to the store, you'll see it on a candle, and you know, T-shirts, and I've seen it often lately. And when I see it, it reminds me as it's kind of this call for our souls to express its beingness, to express it freely and boldly, and to express ourselves unapologetically, and to be fully what we already are. That idea of namaste means we recognize the divine in ourselves, and that's where it's got to begin, right? To recognize and to celebrate that uniqueness, that divine in ourselves, and to emancipate ourselves, to be who we are. So the Centers for Spiritual Living have a global vision. And when I think of a vision, I think of think of something that's big. It's almost unattainable, but it's a big idea. Centers for Spiritual Living, part of our global vision is that we see a world in which every person lives in alignment with his or her or their highest spiritual principle, emphasizing unity with God and connection with each other, and a world in which individuality and collectively we are called to a higher state of consciousness and action. And along with that is freedom. Part of our declaration, part of our principles, our core values are that freedom is the birthright of every individual. And we are free to choose and to create our life experience. We had a social media meeting on Saturday morning, and Tammy, one of our practitioners, we were just discussing what was kind of going on with the new minister and Colin and the minister. And Tammy, this was such a gem. She said, first of all, this philosophy, these are my words, how it spoke to me. These weren't her words, but the idea is the same. The philosophy, our community, the meetings, the services, the classes, all of it. She said, that is my faith. And first and foremost in my faith is my relationship with God. And I think for me, since we have been, the center has been moving forward through the pandemic, online, going back in person as we are meeting, as there's this group of us that's moving the center forward and thinking about the community. When Tammy said she said it's about my faith and my relationship with my God, it caused me really to pause and to step back for a moment. And I just want to kind of put that out there and encourage all of us to think about, this is about our faith. This is about our relationship with the divine, the way we understand it. I love that, because coming from a relatively Christian upbringing, but definitely living in a Judeo-Christian society, growing up, I always thought of God as out there, up there. And when I first got into religious science of mind, and I learned that, and I believed, and still believe, that God is not out there, up there. God is within us, and it expresses through us individually. But what happened, at least for me, is that when I laid my head down on the pillow at night, I didn't have that warm, fuzzy feeling of this God out there, up there, that I could talk to, or this God that would look over me, or this God that would protect me, or from the evil. So I kind of lost that personal relationship, because a God out there, up there as a person, as a relationship that I can understand, because I have relationships like that, right? So I can understand that human. And in this philosophy, there's not that connection. For me, there wasn't that connection. But when I heard Tammy say, this is about my faith, I think where I've come to today, and you've heard me talk about this, the idea that God is, the idea is panentheism, that God is in, through, and around everything, and yet beyond. And this idea of unique individualism, and this idea of love Love is where I go now. When I close my eyes, I lay my head down to sleep at night. The love is within me. It is about loving that part within me and trusting that part within me. And I think that that is what we're talking about today, is exactly being who we are. Now, as a white woman in America, I know I can walk down the street, walk into anywhere, and I don't have to feel afraid. I don't have to worry. Well, being a woman, I'm always kind of like just a little bit more aware of my surroundings, I should say. But being a white woman in America, I know I have white privilege. I know I do. And we do. Those of us that are white have white privilege. Those of us that are straight or present as straight, we have privilege. And I think about it like this. It's as if those of us that are kind of those of us that are white and present as straight, it's as if we're the right-handed people in our society. Everything is made, right, for right-handed people. Think about it. Scissors. If you're left-handed, you can't work those scissors. They're not made that way. Think about it. I looked up this was really fun. I looked up some things that right-handed people have in our society. You know, the flap on your shorts or your jeans, it always goes to the left. So right-handed people, when you unzip your jeans, it's easy because that flap opens this way. The other thing too, there was a couple of them that cracked me up. The swipe on the credit card machine is always on the right? The keypad on your computer, if you've got a keyboard, is on the right. And then this one, I loved this one. I thought this was great. Guitars, I am not a musician. I do not play guitar. But guitars are made for right-handed people. Did you know Jimi Hendrix played his guitar upside down? I had no idea. I found that. I thought that was great. But we can liken it to that. Oh, the last one, of course, desks in school, right? You've got the little part and you put your arm up there. What if you're left-handed? Man, you get left out. Being right-handed is similar. Being right-handed is similar to being in that, having white privilege. I thought that was such a great analogy. And we have a long way to go. We have a long way to go. We have come so far in this country, especially through the pandemic. We have come so far. And I think that our faith, our philosophy is just that right and perfect fit that we accept, honor, and celebrate. We say at the beginning of our services, people exactly for who they are. So I think it's easy for us. I can think it's easy for me. My friends accept others no matter what their tendencies are, no matter what their skin color are, because our philosophy is just absolutely perfect. And I know I've said this before, but man, I feel it. I mean, this philosophy, when we embrace and embody the principles of this philosophy and we live it in the world, we really can create a world that works for everyone. because our philosophy is based in that love and acceptance and celebration and knowing that each one of us is a divine example. The other part I've been thinking about is we also talked about this on the social media call. How do we call in our new minister? How do we do this? So, like I said, we're going to read the covenant. We also had one of our community members who is a poet. He's reworking. I think he's done. I think he's reworked that covenant to make it a little shorter, but still get all the information. And we'll be sharing hopefully a shorter, more condensed version of that, so it's easier. Pardon me. How do we call in our new minister? How do we call in anything, any experience that we want in the world? We have to have faith. You know, it's back to what, you know, Tammy talked about. This is about my faith. And then there's a question like, Reverend Amy, how, you know, what do you do with your faith? How do you remember? And I think that this is important when we talk about calling in a new minister, calling in a new relationship, calling in a new job, calling in, you know, more money, calling in whatever it is that we need. How do we get that? Because there are things that we need in this world. We need money to pay the mortgage. We need money to pay the rent. We have to become it to attract that to us. It's the difference between, we'll just say health. Health is not in us, or health is not in me. I am health. Because when health is in me, there's a separation. But when I am health, there is no separation. I am abundance. One of our key words that came out of that sacred covenant work that we did was wholeness. Wholeness. Our new minister is wholeness. So what we can do, what you can do, is in your daily spiritual practice, when you think about the center, when you think about yourself, think about that wholeness piece. You are wholeness. I am whole. There is nothing to fix. You don't need to read another book. You don't need to come to another service unless you want to. I hope you do. Because we practice here. You know what? That's what we do. We practice here and then we go out and we live it. We go out and we live it in the world and we live it forward. So calling in our new minister, we become it. We become that whole. You know, in closing, this morning, we couldn't get the Faces of God to work. I tried to get it to work on my computer. It wasn't in PowerPoint on my computer. I know Jay, who's helping today, couldn't get it to go on her computer. Robin was having trouble getting it to go on her computer. And then there was something else that happened. We didn't have a bowl to ring. We usually ring a bowl. I'm up in Michigan at my mom's, and Kristen didn't have a bowl. You know, Robin, nobody had a bowl. And this is the kind of stuff that happens, right? This is really in our community too. Before the pandemic, we had a lot more people. We had a lot more pledges. We had a lot more people involved. Now we're half of the size that we were before. We have half of the people, we have half of the pledges, but it doesn't mean anything's wrong. Just like when the Faces of God didn't play, didn't mean anything was wrong. We move forward. We're always in that presence moving forward. We're not going back to in person. I love that idea. We're going forward. We're coming. I haven't figured out a way to say it yet, but I will. Moving forward. So I think for today, wholeness. Be aware of your white privilege. Be aware of your straight privilege. Be aware of your man privilege. Be aware of where you are right-handed in the world. And it's just like someone who was born left-handed. That's how they were born. That's how we're born. Some of us are left-handed. Be aware of those people in your world that you come across that might not be right-handed like you. You may be one of those people that's left-handed. I know I have some left-handed things in my life. But just be aware and love yourself, love one another. And remember that quote from the great mystic philosopher, Lady Gaga. I am beautiful in my way because God makes no mistakes. We are on the right track, baby, and we were born this way. So let's take that into prayer. Let's take that right into that place that says, oh, baby, with you, I am well pleased. Into this place where love knows love, where God shows up and says, yes, my beloved, yes, darling, I love you. Let's just sit in that space for a moment, in that place of self-love. And if you can't get there, it's okay. Be willing to get there. Willing to love yourself, all of you, deeper today than ever before. Be willing to say, there are no mistakes. There will be no mistakes. There have been no mistakes. And in this place of oneness, in this place of connection to the source of good, I, on behalf of each person hearing my voice, surrender. I surrender. And I allow that same power that created the universes to work through me, as me, and in me. Knowing that it is good, good, and more good in my life. I say thank you for exactly how I was born. I say thank you, God, for this and so much more. I let it go into that law that always says yes. And I accept on behalf of each and every person here with a grateful, grateful heart. I say thank you. And together we say, and so it is. So thank you for coming this morning or for watching later on. I hope you got your itch scratched. I always try to scratch my own itch. And I think that self-love piece was coming through today for me. So thank you for being here. It is now the time for the giving of our gifts. And this is very important to us because the money that we get, we base our budget on the amount of pledges that we get in from our community. So based on those pledges, we have created the budget for the month or for the year. And you can see those numbers. They're in our weekly word. So you'll be able to see how we are doing from month to month. And it's important for us that we all fulfill our pledges, and our second quarter pledge statements are coming out soon. Because if you need to adjust your pledge, please let us know. They're important because it helps the center. You know what? We're doing fine. We're doing well right now. We're doing well. And it's because of all of the gifts that we give, all of them. Your gifts are important because it helps us to fulfill that vision statement, like I said before, of a world that works for everyone. This is what we're doing as the Columbus Center for Spiritual Living. We're doing our part, and your giving is important because it helps us to do that. We know that God is our source, and that by giving, we are simply circulating Spirit's energy. There's a teacher in ministerial school, and he said he never used the word pay for anything. He would always just say circulate. I circulate. So thank you for the ways that you're circulating. So there are many ways to give. You can text to give at 614-681-8616. You can go to our website, which is what I usually do, and I always do that. It's columbuscsl.org, and there's a PayPal button on the top. You can also mail your donations to CSL PO Box 14462, Columbus, Ohio, 43214. You can also set up your tithes, your pledge, your donations through your bank. And if you have any trouble doing that, you can call us at the office and we'll help you with that. So please say our affirmation with me. My gift goes forth to heal and bless and prosper. It does its good and perfect work and returns to me multiplied abundantly. And so it is.
When I open up a channel to receive, when I open up my heart and just believe, when I know I am infinity, when I open up my eyes so I can see, I can feel it, I can feel it, circulation, circulation. When I open up my heart and just believe, when I know I am infinity, when I open up my eyes so I can see, I can feel it. Can you feel it? Circulation, circulation, ooh, circulation. Circulation. Let it circulate.
Circulation. I love that song by Carissa. So let's take a minute and pray together over these gifts. So join with me in this prayer for abundance and prosperity right here and right now. We recognize the infinite source of all that is. We embrace and celebrate the law of circulation. The gifts of your love amplify the infinite good that expresses through each one of you, and they also amplify the good that expresses through Columbus CSL. And for that, we are so, so grateful. So I bless the gifts, I bless the givers, and so it is.
And so it is. I love that. I bless the gifts and I bless the givers. So I'd like to thank Janelle Carroll for the meditation and for holding high watch for us today. Thank you, Kristen Wilcock, for being on platform with me today. Thank you, Robin Brookhouse, for the reading. and for being our Zoom moderator this week. Thank you to Jay Westfall for playing our videos this morning. Thank you to Jim for being our Zoom and YouTube moderator. Thank you for being willing to do that. Thank you to Carissa Holmes, Tody Medardi, Steve Parakas, and Joan Nelson, and Jamie Lula for sharing their music with us today. That was from YouTube. And thank you all who are here to celebrate your Sunday morning with us. We're glad you are here. If you are joining us or watching us for the very first time and you want more information, we'd love to send you a welcome packet in the mail. So please, if you do want one of those welcome packets, contact the office. You can call the office or you can send us a private Facebook message. Also, if you're not receiving our weekly word and you would like to receive our weekly word, you can contact us either one of those two ways as well. You can either call the office or send us a private Facebook message. So that is our service for today. Please say our blessing with me. There is only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now, and so it is. And please enjoy our closing song, There is a Healing Going On by Jamie Lula at Mile High Church. Have a great week.
So grateful to my Mile High home. For the way that you've held me for this last week. I just laid my brother to rest on Tuesday. He passed 9 days ago. And I couldn't have found a better place to come and just be held. So thank you. I'm grateful for the healing that's been going on. There's a healing going on. There's a healing going on. Yeah, yeah. Let me walk to the banks of the river of love, where the current runs deep, baptized in the one, where there's no separation and the light is always seen. Honoring all our differences, and love will set us free. Oh, Mother, Father, God, there's a healing going on. Mother, Father, God, there's a healing going on. Mother, Father, God, there's a healing going on. I say, oh, you rock my soul. I say, oh, you rock my soul. I see the blessings of the past. It's time to re-qualify. Let not forget, but learn to forgive. God knows that we gotta try. It's my responsibility to heal the wounds in me. Compassion, faith, and hope, and love, and truth will set us free. Oh, yeah, Mother, Father, God, there's a healing going on. There's a healing. Mother, Father, God, there's a healing going on. There's a healing. Mother, Father, God, there's a healing going on. I say, oh, you rock my soul. I say, oh, you rock my soul. Oh, Lord, I said, Mother, Father, God, there's a healing going on. Mother, Father, God, there's a healing going on. Mother, Father, God, there's a healing going on. I say, oh, you rock my soul. I say, oh, you rock my soul. Oh, Lord, I said, Mother, Father, God, there's a healing going on. I said, Mother, Father, God, there's a healing going on. I said, Mother, Father, God, there's a healing going on. I said, oh, you rock my soul. I say, oh, you rock my soul. Oh, Lord, I said, Mother, Father, God, there's a healing going on. I said, Mother, Father, God, there's a healing going on. I said, Mother, Father, God, there's a healing going on. I said, oh, you rock my soul.